What's up, Ravens fans? I'm Cassie Calvert, and we are back on Facebook Live. Today, I'm joined by one of the newest Ravens, Mark Ingram, who's going to be taking your questions. So go ahead and start commenting them for him below. Mark, it's week 1. You're about to head to Miami tomorrow. Are there any pregame jitters for the first week of the regular season?
No, I don't have any jitters. I'm excited. I'm excited, and I'm sure on Sunday I'll have some pregame jitters, which is always good. Just because you want to play good, you want to do well, and you want to have success. But right now I'm feeling good. I don't have the jitters. I'm still just kind of relaxing and excited.
Take it day by day at this point.
Yeah.
So you've talked a lot since you've been here about how you just immediately felt welcomed by this team, by the city, by the organization. Has there been anything that surprised you about being in Baltimore?
No, I've just been enjoying the experience. Like I said, I've enjoyed every aspect of it this far. My kids are excited. My wife's excited, and it makes me happy, and it makes me be able to come to work and be excited, and very excited and optimistic about my future. So I'm excited. And I haven't been surprised. Everybody's been showing love. Where I live is beautiful, kind of in the country, in the suburbs a little bit, and I like the city. So I'm just learning about it and just, growing.
I love that. That's a great way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have made a lot of the heat in Miami this weekend, but you're coming from New Orleans where you had to deal with the heat and the humidity at practice all the time. Mm-hmm. Is that something, you're not worried about that at this point?
The humidity is always, the heat and the humidity is always tough, to deal with. You just have to make sure you prepare properly, you're fueling your body properly, hydrating properly, eating the right food so your energy is high, your hydration is high, and you're able to perform, at your premium, your optimal status. So, New Orleans was extremely hot. I live in Florida in the off season, so I know what the heat's like. But I think we're bringing a lot of stuff that'll help us stay cool and help us stay hydrated. So we've been focusing on that, and it's been hot in Baltimore a couple of times.
And in Philly, those joint practices.
Yeah, so we've had some heat. We've had some tough heat days. Wednesday was a hot one for us. So I think we're ready, and I think everybody is fueling properly, eating properly, and I think we'll be ready to go.
All right, our first fan question for you is from Ash, and this is a fun one. He said, tell us something we don't know about you that would surprise us.
Something that people don't know about me is probably I used to be a really good golfer. Like, golfing was my best sport going into high school.
Wow, okay.
And I just had to choose between golf and football because they were in the same season. So I would say people don't know that my best sport going into high school was golf, and I could still play a little bit, but my 13-year-old self would kill me right now.
So that's like a post-retirement, you pick that back up.
Yeah. When I like to play a little bit in the off season, but when I'm done playing, for sure, I feel like I'll get back right.
That's awesome. All right, Beth wants to know how you prepare on game day. Do you have any game day rituals?
It just depends. Like when we play at 1 o'clock, I pretty much I wake up and I get a stretch, from a stretch therapist that I usually work with, and then go to chapel, eat breakfast, and then by that time it's usually time to get on the bus and head to the stadium. So I just kind of stretch, get a good breakfast, make sure I hit my chapel, and I get to the stadium and I listen to my music. I pray. My mom and my sister send me scriptures and words of encouragement. I always read those before, after pregame with the team. I come back in, I read those, get a little prayer in, and that's about it. So simple.
This Sunday's obviously a 1 p.m. game, but how does that change for the night games?
Yeah, night games, you get a little bit more time to sleep in. I love sleeping in, so I like 3:30 starts in night games. Obviously prime time, but I also get a little bit more time to rest. And so you just kind of try to stay off your feet, try to relax, and try to not use your energy, conserve it all, and make sure you're peaking for a late kickoff.
Because it can be a long day at that point when you're not kicking off till 8:20 and you've been awake since the morning. Yeah, for
it
sure.
Be long. Yep.
All right, it's a new number for you, but Neil wants to know why 21 means so much to you.
It was the closest thing to 22. And T. Jeff had 23, and 20 is off limits here in Baltimore for good reason. So I wore 28 when I was young, and my first 2 years in the league I wore 28, and I didn't want 28. So 21 was my preference, obviously, because Jimmy's 22. So I was able to get it thanks to Deshaun. He's a great dude, great young cat, and
he's rocking the 32 now.
It
It's good.
looks good on him.
I like it.
And he has a chain with 32 diamonds on it, so he's bought into it. He's bought into it. I feel like I did him a favor.
Are you gonna get a 21 chain?
No.
That's not you.
Not a 21. Maybe one day.
Do you like the 21 though? Does it feel good now?
I do like the 21. If I couldn't be 22, I'm happy that, I got 21. 21's a good number.
It is. All right,
Blackjack.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Jordan wants to know who you formed the closest bond with as a Raven.
I kind of had built-in relationships coming here. So obviously Willie Snead, been like a brother to me. I knew him when he was pretty much on practice squad in New Orleans. He came over and we got close and made active roster. And we had some years together there. I've known Tony Jefferson a while, known Earl Thomas a while, and but I've just been getting close with a number of guys. Obviously, Peanut, my offensive line, Ronnie Staley, Orlando, tight ends, a number of guys I've just been developing lots of camaraderie with, but I kind of had built-in relationships coming here. So I'd say Willie and Tony Jefferson and Earl probably, just because I've known them for many years before this.
I think that's one thing fans don't necessarily always think about, is that you guys are at Pro Bowls and league events and things like this, and you have relationships with guys on other teams, even if you might not have played with them directly, like Willie in that case.
Of course, yeah. I mean, football, NFL is a big family, so there's times where, like you said, Pro Bowls or Super Bowl events. If you're not playing, there's a lot of guys down there for that, and you just meet guys over time. And I'm a fan of the game, so I watch guys over the years, and yeah, you have relationships with people even though they're not on your team.
All right, on the other side of the ball, though, with what defender that you faced has hit the hardest? Russell wants to know.
The hardest hit that I probably ever had, I was probably my first or second year, is a DN named Ray Edwards. Ray Edwards from Atlanta Falcons. I was going to get the ball and I don't know what happened, but pretty much he ran straight. He almost took the handoff and he smacked me. And I got up and I was a little woozy. Drew was like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm good." And then I ran to the sideline. My coach was like, "I'm just glad you hit onto the ball." You know what I mean? So I knew I got hit hard because he told me that. I'm just glad you hit onto the ball. But yeah, that's probably the hardest hit I had.
Was that a welcome to the league moment for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had some welcome to the league moments, but that right there was whew, that was tough. He got me on that one.
Bernice wants to know what team you are looking forward to playing this year the most and why.
It's hard to say one team that you're looking forward to the most, but obviously all our division opponents. The Cleveland thing, I'm looking forward to getting after them a little bit. All the division games, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, those are all huge. But obviously prime time versus New England, prime time versus the Rams. Just one, you just all of them are big, all of them. Not one holds more value than the other, except for the division games. But I'm looking forward to all of them.
You mentioned the division games there. What was your kind of perception of the AFC North being on the outside and now coming into it?
Tough division, a physical division. You know that you was gonna have to be physical, and that's something that I always kind of believed when you had the AFC North on the schedule. We had the AFC North on the schedule. You knew you was looking for tough, physical dogfights, and that's kind of the reputation that they have around the league, I believe.
All right, I'm going to take one more fan question because I think this is a really good one to end on. Greg asked, if you had to give one piece of advice to your team and its younger players, what would that be?
I pretty much tell them just to play fast, trust your eyes, trust your instincts, and you prepare all week long, you watch the film, you kind of understand your opponent, and all the preparation. Once Sunday comes, you're prepared enough. You should be prepared enough, and I just think that you just need to relax, trust your eyes, play fast, trust your instincts, it's a game that we've been playing for many years, a lot of us, and it's just on the highest level with some of the best in the world. So don't think too much and just trust your abilities. You're here for a reason. You're more than capable, and play fast, play physical, and we'll correct the mistakes, after the game. But while we're in between the lines on Sundays, just play fast, play physical, and we'll correct it all later.
I love it. Is there any message you'd like to share with the fans before we sign off?
I'm just happy to be a Raven. You can expect me to give everything I have every single time I step foot on the field. Lots of emotion, play physical. I just leave it all on the line. I'm trying my hardest and get everything I got every time I touch the field.
Well, you can't ask for more than that. So thanks for joining us, guys. We will see you Sunday in Miami as we take on the Dolphins.